Hello and welcome to our latest LinkedIn Live at Tiger Recruitment. I'm Jane Leese and I head up the finance and HR divisions here at Tiger. Today I'm joined by Sam Phippen. Sam, lovely to have you in the team and great to speak to you here today.
Thanks, Jane. Hi, everyone who has joined the call. I'm Sam Phippen, recently joined Tiger as a consultant within our HR division. And, yeah, good to be here today.
Brilliant. Thanks, Sam. So let's dive straight in. Sam, you've been with us now for just a couple of months. And I thought it'd be interesting to hear how you've been finding the market since you've joined us, and if that's changed at all. So what your overall general view of the market is?
Yeah, of course. So I'd say really positive thing. It's been a busy summer, and yeah, the last couple of months we've seen a good amount of roles coming in across HR, firstly in the UK, but globally as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting comparing this, I think, to some of the insights that I've seen. So obviously the KPMG's recent survey shows that permanent hiring has actually moved from kind of a bit of a decline, which it has been the case for a little while, to a bit of kind of stabilization now, and overall hiring conditions have improved slightly. So I think definitely this is trending in the right direction, which is really positive. And I think from something I'm definitely hearing from conversations I'm having with candidates specifically is, I think there's a bit of a term that I've heard a bit is low hire, low fire within the market at the moment. So there's not a huge amount of permanent roles that are being advertised within the HR market, but also lots of companies are in a kind of stage of stabilization and aren't kind of doing huge transformations. So they're you could say playing it safe a little bit and looking to really promote from within and focus on their internal candidates. So it's an interesting time, which is why we're seeing so many good, strong candidates out there in the market. And I think it will just be about monitoring this as we move towards the end of the year and seeing what direction this trends in. But it'd be interesting to hear from a finance perspective whether you're seeing a similar situation or actually it might be a bit different.
Yeah, so, well, from the finance side, we've had an incredibly busy couple of months. I expect that may well continue as people start to return back from their holidays over the next couple of weeks as well. So it's been very busy, but the interesting thing is that's been across all levels. We've had roles from transactional roles through to more senior finance director, CFO, and some senior investment roles as well. So we have really seen things coming in across the breadth of the finance function. Our busiest client base at the moment is tending to be within family offices, private equity firms, etc. We're also seeing a steady stream of roles coming in from entrepreneurial businesses, and also some tech companies are hiring. So again, interesting to see who seems to be looking to build on their finance teams at the moment. The other thing that is interesting is we're seeing a really strong demand for permanent hiring, particular, and a lot more than on the temporary and contract side, that's definitely a little quieter, and that actually goes against what we're reading in the media, where a lot of the media is saying, that contract side is busier, and we're just not seeing that at all. But what are you finding? The difference between the permanent and the contract side. Are you finding one side of the market busier?
Yeah, I would say probably at the moment, temp and contract roles still are slightly outperforming permanent roles. I think from conversations, especially within HR, employees are still nervous about costs. They're possibly recently transitioned to a new HR model. So then therefore they're being slightly risk averse and looking at kind of starting off with more contracts and then making them permanent as and when hopefully it goes the way that they want it to, whatever the new model was. But I think we're seeing a real mixture across the board. So there's not, I would say it's within HR, it's pretty similar, the amount of temp and contract versus permanent roles. Something that is interesting is because of the, I guess, companies favouring contract roles previously, we're seeing a real mixture in notice period length for roles that we do advertise. We're seeing people that, I don't know, are coming towards the end of their contracts or possibly just have a 1 month notice period versus people that are in a permanent role at a company with a 3 month notice period. And therefore it's interesting to see kind of the response that then businesses would have to that. And the positive thing is we're still seeing they will just favour the best candidate at the end of the day. And if they have to wait a little bit longer for that, then it's not a worry at all. And also, so it's in twofold. There's the notice period side of things, but also the speed of recruitment for contract roles. So definitely with more contract roles, the speed of recruitment is pretty quick, and they're quite often looking for someone to come in as soon as possible. It might even just be for a 3 month period while someone's out. So yeah, definitely speed of recruitment for contracts seems to be pretty quick. But yeah, I don't know, is this consistent for contract roles within finance? How does that vary, I guess, compared to permanent?
Yeah, so I think when it comes to the speed of the hiring, at the moment, clients do need to move quickly. We've been saying it for a little while, but it really is. You can see it building up more and more now. And if they see candidates that they like, they need to start moving, because I'm seeing for the first time, a good candidate is in 3 or 4 processes easily. They've got 3 or 4 good opportunities that they're looking at. And we're starting to lose people if processes don't move fast enough. That could be because they're looking at permanent. It could be because they're looking at contract roles, so that's obviously going to, that process is going to move more quickly. But candidates definitely seem to be in more opportunities at the moment. We can lose them, and there is some competition for those good candidates again, which then has the knock-on effect, because that's starting to have an impact on salaries, and those are starting to just creep back up a little bit as well, which they haven't done for a while. I don't know if that reflects the number of opportunities that you're finding candidates are looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree that I think we're seeing salaries rise a little bit, which I think overall is a positive thing, and keeps I guess people being paid what they're worth and then what they should be for various roles. But also, and this flows quite nicely into the HR newsletter that went out at the end of last month, is also the focus on benefits and I guess the extras alongside salary. So at the moment, obviously, salary remains, I guess, the number one and the biggest focus.
Of course,
in conversations that I've been having with candidates, they're very much focused on what are the extras. And in the newsletter that we put out, we're seeing annual leave tends to be one of the number one focuses that employers are actually looking at changing how they structure it, whether they have a global annual leave policy or increasing the number of standard days, or possibly increasing flexibility for UK bank holidays, for example. So allowing people to choose to work them and take them elsewhere, which I think is quite nice. Also, hybrid and remote working absolutely is still, I think, probably the number one part of a conversation with the candidate is how many days do I need to be in the office? Can I work remotely? What can I pick those days that I need to be in? Will all the team be in on those days? So I think we're still seeing, I think 3 days in, 2 days from home is probably still the standard, but we're maybe seeing a slight shift towards maybe 4 days in, 1 day from home. But yeah, that is still a really important kind of part of the conversation. And then additional benefits on top, so healthcare and well-being allowances, and it's really a big focus now for candidates. So I think it raises awareness to employers that maybe aren't thinking about their benefits as much. They might be missing out on that top talent.
It's all part of the same consideration for a candidate when they're looking at roles as well, isn't it, alongside the salary? But talking about salaries, I can't believe that we're at this time of year again already. We're currently in the process of gathering the data and information for the 2027 salary guide, which just seems crazy, which will be out in November time, so in no time at all. And so for anybody who is interested in receiving a copy, then just keep an eye out over the next couple of months when they'll be able to start pre-ordering and doing that request as well.
Absolutely. I'm interested to see if the benefits conversations that we're having align with what we end up seeing in the kind of the findings in the salary survey. So yeah, definitely we'll be keeping an eye out for that.
For sure. I think the last couple of years, the benefit side has been really interesting in the salary survey guide as a whole, and just how much they've changed and how they're continuing to develop. So yeah, definitely be one to look out for this time. Brilliant. But I think that's a good summary for now for the market on both sides. But it's been really lovely talking to you, Sam. Thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to the next couple of months when we do our next one. See how the market has changed. Hopefully we'll still be just as busy and still talking about all these fabulous candidates that we're in contact with. But yeah, thank you for your time. And if anybody who is listening has any questions or any comments, then please don't hesitate to get in touch. But for now, thanks very much and speak soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.